The forex market runs about $6.6 trillion a day.
Don't learn if you don't have the money to trade with. Hello guys, welcome to another episode of the Real Life Show. I'm your host, Amos Bermo, and today we have a very special guest with us today. If you don't mind introducing yourself to us.
Well guys, I'm Evan Forex right here. Popularly known as Evan Forex, but my real names are Fofung Nelvis, CEO of Evan Forex Academy.
Alright, like you heard from him, FN Forex. I want us to begin this way.
Okay.
What are some misconceptions people have about you and the business that you do or the work?
Misconceptions people have about me. I don't know if people have misconceptions about me, but about the business, I think people look at the business as scam. People look at the business as a get-rich-quick scheme. I mean, there are a lot of misconceptions people have about Forex as a whole.
Yeah, because people like, some people tend to believe that what you claim you make out of this, you don't actually do. But your revenue comes from what people pay to learn what you have.
I mean, there's no problem in you paying to learn what I have, right?
Yeah.
I'm giving you knowledge.
Is it, now me personally, I'm not into this, I don't know how it works, but why do you feel the need to teach people how you make money? Don't you think that you should make, a whole lot of it out of yourself? And, yeah.
Okay, now, people have this misconception, particularly because they are trying to link trading, Forex trading, to what most young people do, which is betting or scamming, like internet fraud, right?
Yeah.
Normally, when it comes to internet fraud, from my experience, most of these guys that do internet fraud, they don't share what they do, because they believe if I share what I do with you, you might block my way somehow. I don't know how it functions, but
they might reduce your chances of winning.
Your chances of winning, right? Yeah. But now in trading, it is not like that, right? The forex market runs about $6.6 trillion a day, and on that $6.6 trillion a day, how much can you remove? How much can I remove? Right?
I think it all depends on what, because from what I know, the little that I know, you risk something to get something. Yeah. So with that amount of money in the forex market, would you what is the strategy you use? Is it risk more to get more, risk less?
Okay, it depends. It depends. When it comes to forex, let's get into maybe forex a little bit. When it comes to forex, you decide your risk, right? You came in when I was trading news.
Yeah.
Right? And now, this particular news I was trading, I was risking everything I had in my account. But on a normal day, I'll not risk everything I have in my account. So what I deposited in that account to trade today, which you saw me make profit live, right? Yeah. You can testify with them.
Yeah,
so that profit you saw me make was from an account that I deposited today. And I deposited an amount I was ready to risk. Yeah. Right? But on a normal, I have a different account where I will get up every day and risk just 5% per trade on my account. So you are deciding to risk something to gain something.
Would you love, now for your students, you have students that you teach all these things. Now, would you like to teach students who have more to risk or less to risk?
No, I think I would like to teach students who manage risk. Right?
It's not always about managing risk, because we know that a human being is a greedy person.
True.
Humans are greedy.
And that is one of the reasons why trading becomes complicated. Right? Because when it comes to trading, you should not be greedy. You should know when to start, you should know when to stop. You should know how much you risk. Now, if you don't know how much you risk, you go and carry maybe your entire savings. You come and deposit. You don't use risk management. It blows up within 2 minutes. What will you say to the next person about trading?
How do you get to manage these risks? Because now, for somebody that let's say for somebody that has a low income, that maybe people might risk $500, $700, $800, $1,000, and then there will be somebody that will be able to risk only $100. How much are your classes?
150,000.
150,000. That is about $220 or something.
Basically.
Now, somebody would pay for your classes for 200,000 francs or more, and maybe they don't even have. Maybe outside of that 200,000 that they have paid, they will not be able to go back and have 200,000 to.
No, then you are making a mistake, because trading, basically, you need to learn. You need to, when you learn, you need to trade before you earn, right?
Yeah.
That's our slogan. Now, when you learn, you need to trade, and for you to trade, you need money.
So your advice is don't learn if you don't have the money to trade with.
Exactly. You cannot be learning where you don't have where you don't have money to trade. If you're learning where you don't have money to trade with, then what do you want to do with the knowledge?
Then what they are basically saying is someone who is, I don't want to say poor or broke, I mean someone without money should not aspire to be a Forex trader.
Okay, let me take for example myself, right? Back in 2019 when I started learning how to trade, I don't really have money that much, right?
You had something.
I had something. Now, how did I get that thing? I could show you clips of me in the chantier. I could show you clips of me by the roadside, right?
Yeah.
Struggling to hustle, to see that I can fund my account, to see that I can pay for this knowledge that we're talking about. Because we're talking about 150,000 here. But if I go to my email now, I'll still show you receipts of courses I've bought way more than that amount.
So you are still learning from somewhere.
I'm still learning, right? So trading basically is a high income skill. And high income skills, when we talk about high income skill, we are talking about something. You came in, I've just made how much? Within how many minutes? I came and made you in this class, right?
Yeah.
Within 2 minutes, my account balance is $1,400, right? Now that's what we call a high income skill. Which industry is going to give you an opportunity to make such amount within that short period of time? Though we know the risks involved, right?
Exactly, yeah.
I was risking something to get that amount.
Yes.
But now, how did I, get this knowledge to be able to analyze this fundamental? It's a news event that happens in the US. If you're in Cameroon, how will you know what's happening in the US, right? If you know what's happening in the US, how will you know how that news affects the market? These are all things that we learn.
To get where you are today, as of today, many people will not see your past. Many people will not see the struggles that you had.
Most people, 9% of people know FM Forex. I don't know FM Forex for 1 year.
Me personally, I've known you maybe just for the past couple of months because
right?
Yeah.
But now, maybe I'll share some of those clips with you while you're eating your video. You show them. There was a time in my life where I was locked in on my chart, on reading books and going through Forex courses, right? During that time, nobody knew me. And the funny thing is that most people look at this thing now, they want to get rich quick. Everybody wants to drive GRE within 1 month or within 1 year. So I see some people, like you said, some people have misconceptions about me. Some people are saying that, you have been teaching people for 1 year, why are they not like you? Like,
that is where I was heading to. Why
are you not like me? 5 years, November last year made me 5 years of doing Forex. And it's not like this situation where I do Forex and then I go and do something else and come back. 5 years of constantly doing one and the same thing and learning from my mistakes.
When you teach your students, do you share all the knowledge you have?
Yeah.
Or there is some that you keep for yourself?
In short, if there was a way I could get more knowledge to share with the students, I would do, right? Because there's no need for me keeping another knowledge to myself when I want you to be successful. You understand? Because basically, why am I teaching you? I'm teaching you to be successful. I'm teaching you so that you could be, I could say that, okay, I could be a proud mentor, so that this is my student that is succeeding because I taught you, right?
Yeah.
Now, why will I keep something from you? Why will I hide something from you?
There's an example that I want to bring here.
Okay.
There was one time that I saw on the news, very famous comedian Mark Angel, that he lost about $3 million in Forex.
Yeah.
Now, we cannot say that Mark Angel did not have the right people to guide him. With that kind of money and that status, you will have people who would. You can pay people to do that. Yes.
Now let me tell you something. That's account management. I believe he went into account management. And do you know how account management works? You come to me like, now I don't do account management because I have my capital to trade with. But now let's say I want to start doing account management. There are people in this Cameroon that offered me crazy amounts for me to trade for them, right?
Like now, give you money and you do the trading for them.
Trade for them, yeah, right? Now those people are giving money based on what I tell them. If I come and tell you that I know how to trade, this and that and that and that, you trust me, you give me that money, I blow it. What happens? You have lost the money, right? That particular money is first of all a lot of money to be lost if you are actually a professional trader. You get? Traders are going to understand better. You cannot blow an account when you understand your psychology and your risk management. Every trader out there, quote me wrong, every trader out there that has blown an account, you either should know why you blow that account or you don't understand risk management. Two things involved. Because if you understand risk management, you will know how much you should risk per trade, you know when to stop, you know when to trade. But if you don't understand risk management, it takes you 1 minute to bring down an account of no matter the amount.
So it's very clear that people who come in with money can easily go broke.
You can come in with how can I put it? You can come in with them as well in Forex, right? The market is running $6.6 trillion. So you can come in with any amount of billion and the market takes from you. You get it? So you need to understand what you are doing. You need to understand. I'm emphasizing more on risk management because it has risk. You are risking something. So you must attach risk management. If not, you are going to find yourself in that trap of blowing an account or losing your entire amount you deposited.
Okay, I believe that you have mastered the art of risk management and anyway, do you consider that you have mastered the art of risk management and all that?
Okay, I consider I've mastered the art of risk management. I consider myself a professional trader. Why? Because I will not blow an account if I'm not willing to blow that account. For example, I'll use the account I traded with today. I was very okay blowing that account. You get it? My main portfolio.
That is losing money.
That's losing the amount I deposited. You must risk something to gain something, right? So now I was risking around $320, right? To make that 800, which I made today. Now, if I was not ready to risk that amount, that $320, I would say maybe I'm ready to risk $50, right?
Yeah.
Then I'll use my stop loss, I calculate my risks, I know the losses I'm using, that I'll be risking just $50.
Now, if you already know all these things, you said people have offered you
money to trade
for them. Why don't you do it instead of sitting people down to sit down and you can
trade for people?
Exactly.
Good. Now, when it comes to the issue of trading for people, right? There are a lot of reasons why I don't trade for people, and there are a lot of reasons why I discourage my students from trading for people, right? Now, gone are those days where we used to lack capital. Now we have what we call prop firms. These are firms that trade you, that fund you as a trader. You get it? So instead of taking maybe say 10,000,
fund you like you don't. It's their money.
It's their money. They fund you as a trader. Mm-hmm. So instead of taking your money, your $10,000, right? I would rather go for a prop firm. Now going for that prop firm, the difference with you is that you are not going to give me any test. You just give me the money. I could blow that money, right? Mm-hmm. If I blow that money now, you come and maybe you start giving me threats or you lock me up. There are a lot of people that have gone to prison, right? Because of the money they blow. Rather, I'll go for that prop firm, that if I blow that prop firm, they will not hold me responsible. You get it? But what that prop firm is going to need from you is that the prop firm will have to give you an evaluation. You go through an evaluation. That's the difference between the prop firm and an individual. You as an individual, you not give me a test. A platform will give me a test to make sure that I am profitable, qualified. To make sure that I apply proper risk management before they give me that account.
Now, would you consider trading, because you said it's all of this rounds down to, is it news or whatsoever in the US?
Well, it's a lot.
Okay, it's a lot. So a lot that you don't know about, like you don't know what is about to happen.
I don't get you.
Would you, like, if you are depositing money now, you are hoping that
depositing money to trade.
To trade, yes.
Right. Okay, depositing money to trade now, you are hoping that you make profit.
Yeah, that's what I want to understand. Are you hoping
that you will make profit?
Yes.
Now, when it comes to hoping that you will make profit, right? It comes down to maybe your strategy and how you approach the market. When I get up every morning, the first mindset I have is how much am I risking today? Right? How much am I risking today? You must risk something. So now I am hoping that, okay, I am risking this amount to gain this amount. I am risking 10% to get 30%, 1:3 risk to 1 ratio. Or I am depositing, or I am maybe risking $50 to get $100, 1:2 risk to 1 ratio.
Have you had any experience with betting?
I was a professional bettor before I went to trading.
Now, do you think that trading and betting have any relations? Are they similar?
Trading and betting, right, has relations depending on how you approach it. Now, if I give you my phone and I come to my chart, let me just go to my MT4. I come to my MT4. Now, on this MT4, you're going to see up here, what do you have? You have sell or buy, right?
Yeah.
Now, you can choose to click any button. You can choose to click sell, you can choose to click buy. You are gambling, right? But for me, before coming here to analyze this news, I was in my office, you came out, I told you to wait, right? Yeah. I've analyzed that news, I've analyzed the chart, done my technical analysis, done my fundamental analysis before coming to place that particular trade.
Now, with betting, people do not also just sit down and, like you said, sell and buy. You don't just sit down and you choose win or lose. People analyze games, they watch their games, they look at the players that are involved, and then before they come to a conclusion that I pick this side, yes, I'm choosing this side to win. So I think I look at it like me, like I said before, me personally, I'm not a fan of Forex. Yeah, I have experience with betting.
With betting,
So I feel like all of it is gambling.
It's gambling
because you are hoping, you are not the one, like you are placing money on work that is not done by you.
It's not done by you.
It's determined by someone else.
Well, it's not determined by someone else. That's the thing.
I mean, the Forex, let's in a situation where
the Forex market is not determined by someone else.
Wait, let me give an example. You can put 500 francs here and tell someone that, okay, I'm putting this 500 because I know that I can do 2 backflips. I'm going to do 2 backflips for this 500.
Yeah.
And if I do 2 backflips, I'll get 1,000 francs. Now, you are the one that is determining if or not you are going to get that 500 francs. But if you put the 500 francs down and tell someone that this guy is going to do 2 backflips, now you are hoping that he does 2 backflips. I believe that is the same thing with betting.
Okay, now with betting, well, that's my own point of view. There are traders that accept that gambling is the same as betting, right?
Yeah.
In my own point of view, with betting, when I bet, if the game goes against me, I'm losing all my money, right?
The market goes against you, you are losing.
I'm losing. But now, risk management comes in. You know what you are doing, you know how much you are risking. But for you who does not understand these things, once you place a trade, it's either it takes you out or like the same like betting, right? It's either it blows your account, you are frustrated, right? Or it goes your direction. But once you actually understand and know what you are doing, you are definitely not blowing all your account. You might end up taking 2-3 trades at the end of the day, 1 losing trade or even 2 losing trades. Then 1 win trade covers all your losing trade and you are up in profit.
Is it every time that you can get out of a trade halfway?
You can get out of the trade half anytime you want. Maybe in profit or in losses. But now, if you want to go deep into trading, it's not recommended for you to take actions when you have placed your trade. The best actions are always when you are still to place your trade. Now, a trader will understand that one better.
How long does this after you place your money, how long does it
take?
Trading, does it go on for the whole day, or there's particular times that you trade for?
We need to take you for classes. Yeah, but when it comes to trading, right, we have day traders, we have scalpers, we have swing traders, right? Now, scalpers are people who place trade and close within minutes, within seconds. You get, like what you saw me do today. Yeah. I was basically scalping. The first move of the news, that was what I was aiming. Then we have day traders, intraday traders, that I place my trade, I can close in the evening. I can close maybe in the afternoon, maybe I place in the morning, I can close in the afternoon. Then we have swing traders, they hold their trade for a long period of time, maybe for days, right? Or maybe for weeks. You get? Yeah. Now, when you place a trade, it might go to your take profit or go to your stop loss within the next 5 minutes, as well as it might consolidate before finally hitting your target, maybe after 2 hours or after 3 hours. So there's no particular range where you will have say, okay, by this time I'll hit stop loss, or by this time I'll hit take profit. Then maybe, okay, for betting, we know that the match is at this time, and you end at this time.
Yeah.
For trading is different. For trading, once you place your trade, you could go to your take profit or your stop loss immediately. You could take the whole day, maybe you go over the night, or maybe for some days before you finally hit your target, depending on how you approach the market.
The 150,000 francs that people pay for you, how long?
Okay, for mentorship, and that's another misunderstanding. I think that was the first question. That's another misconception people have about the academy itself, right? For our academy, our mentorship is lifetime. You get it? Mm-hmm. But now, within this lifetime, when we say that the mentorship is lifetime, it means that even if you go and come back after 2 years, you can come back.
And you want to know something.
You'll come back and sit back in class, right? Now, we have a syllable we cover within 4 to 6 weeks. And within that 4 to 6 weeks, we have 15 topics. Mm-hmm. Those 15 topics are taken from the basics of trading up to how to get funded. That's not just learning the whole concept on how to trade, but how to get funds, how to get funded. Like I talk about prop firms, right?
Yeah.
How to get funds to actually trade, right?
Is Forex, is this thing evolving, or it has, I mean, like, you know that history is about one thing. History does not change. Mm-hmm. It has always been this and forever be this.
Yeah.
Is it like history, or is computer science where as time goes on?
With time.
Yes.
I would say it is kind of mixed, right? Because the forex market has been in existence since we started from the moment economy started using currencies.
Why I'm asking this question is, if I come and pay for your classes today,
yeah, and after
maybe 2 months,
change.
Exactly.
Okay, I get your point. Well, it's the same, basically. Now, some little things might change, and I'll give you an example. During COVID, did we expect COVID? No. Did COVID affect the economies? Yes. For example, let's take for example US. What happened in the US? US was locked, right? Yeah. Companies were closed. What happens to an economy when that kind of a crisis happens? The currency for that particular economy falls, right? If the currency falls, it affects the market. Now, we do not expect COVID, but that's something that has come up. You as a trader now, you need to know how to adjust or adapt to those changes. Mm-hmm. Trump got elected as the president of the US. It affected the market. You as a trader, you need to know how to adapt to those changes. That's basically it. But aside from that, there's not really much change. If you look at the chart of today, I heard somebody say that Forex started in 2015. If you look at our chart, if I go to my chart now, I will show you a date in 2000. I will show you a date in 1990.
Yeah.
You're going to see the same candlesticks that you see now, right? So it's basically the same thing. What might change are the fundamentals that will affect the movement of the chart. And I believe as a trader, you should be able to adapt to that.
So someone that has learned from you will not necessarily need to be around you all the time.
Exactly.
In order to They can use the knowledge you give them, and then maybe 5 years, 10 times, or even a lifetime trade, they use it to...
Well, at the academy, we have a community.
Because the truth is that not everybody that lives here, people will pay, learn here, and after here, they no longer learn.
True.
Like they just want to make money, and yes, they are not interested in learning any. Not that they might not be interested. There might be people that will not have the chance. Well, like now, you said you are paying for, you still pay for lessons to learn. People might live here and they cannot pay for those lessons.
Okay, now when I talk about paying for lessons to learn, it's more of learning other things as of now, right? Now, I might watch podcasts. I watch podcasts of other traders, not because I want to learn their strategy or even, right? Because I just want to, have that connection, like, it is my industry. What does this person has to say? You get it? It's me basically learning. That person can say something in that podcast that I will learn from. So learning never ends, right? But now when it comes to, like, okay, you as a student, you leave the academy, right? What do you have to do? What I've told you here is what I do, right? I entered here, I traded this news with these students, right? I'm teaching them how I do it. I'm showing them how I do it, and this is how I make the money, right? There are times I'll even do the withdrawal in front of them. But now, once you leave from here, what is needed of you as a student? If you go and study, you don't practice, will you make it? No. It is
you need money to practice.
You need money to practice. You need to fund your account.
So what you are putting out there is, if you don't have money, don't come to start.
If you don't have money to fund your account, how do you want to trade? If you don't have money to fund your account, at least have something to give you money. And that's the reason
because
why
I've never really heard somebody that will come out and say, before I entered Forex, I was broke, and now I am here. Most of the people that I've seen talk about Forex, you want to look at their background, maybe before they are getting into Forex, they already had a few hundreds of thousands, millions.
Okay, now talk of me. Look at me as an example. Right? Look at me as an example. I have pictures and recordings in those days that I will be in my room and I'll be making $3, $4. Did I have money before I was making $3, $4?
Outside of Forex, have you ever had any you will make sure something called deep part, I don't forget. Outside of Forex, have you ever had somewhere else
that
you get money from?
Now, the odd jobs that I did in those days, right, is what you need to do. Now, for now, I've involved in many things. I do importation, right? I've involved in many things. I have other investment, and these investments are as a result of funds I generated from Forex.
No, you know that somebody that is doing hard labor somebody that is doing hard labor would not want to risk money in
It means you're not ready, bro. Okay, let's take for example, back then I used to do online registration and sell these pamphlets at the ANS student Bamenda there. I used to register one student for 1.5. Maybe at the end of the day, I have 5,000. Maybe at the end of the day, I have 10,000. But now, me thinking strategically, when school wanted to start, I went to different departments and meet their class coordinators. I tell them that, okay, instead of going to the road where I was to do this thing for 1,000, for 1.5, I will do it for people in your class for 1,000. You will not need to go to the road, right? Now, with that strategy now, I can register 30 students on that day, 30,000. You get it? You start from there. So it's about you thinking out of the box. Now I teach my students importation. Why am I teaching them?
Outside of Forex.
Outside of Forex. Why am I teaching them importation? Because you need money to fund your trading account. So I am teaching you importation. I can teach you anything I know, right? I'm teaching them importation now because I believe that maybe it could help you later as a source. So one of the problems when I do a survey, one of the problems most people that leave from here, one of the problems they have is that they don't have money to fund their account, right? So that's basically why I give them the opportunity. Okay, I'm teaching importation. Importation is something that people sell importation costs for 200,000.
When somebody comes here to pay and learn, now we have already told them that if you don't have money to trade, don't waste your time paying or your money paying.
Well, I don't tell students that if you don't have money to trade, don't waste your time paying, because no knowledge is wasted.
It's wasted, yeah,
You
actually.
get it? You could learn how to trade today, and maybe you have funds to fund your account maybe after 3 months. Every broker has what we call a demo account. You could learn how to trade and you're practicing on your demo account. Right? These students are teaching the importation. It does not mean that after teaching importation, you go and import next week and start making profit. You probably will have to import, go through the process that I have taught you. Maybe the goods will have to come, you start selling, you have to figure out something.
Yeah, but now you cannot put everybody on. You cannot teach everybody importation.
Well, that I will teach all my students. It's just an advantage they have.
If they are interested in learning.
They seem like we are in class, right? At the end of the session, I just teach everybody in class.
So there are advantages to paying, to learning Forex trading from. You have other advantages. I mean that you don't just teach people how to trade, but how they can have money to.
I teach you how to get funded, how to get funds to fund your account. That's why our last topic is prop firms and how to get funded. I teach you how to approach a prop firm. I teach you how to pass the evaluation so that we can give you funds.
What would be your advice to a neutral somebody? That will you advise someone to get into Forex? Or I don't know, maybe if they were doing whatever they were doing.
Okay, now this is my account, right? Confirm the name. Go down, click on transactions. Now click on transactions. Let's take filter, take withdrawals. Let's apply. Okay, this is for the past 7 days. This is withdrawal for the past 7 days, right? You can click and go down to withdrawals for the last 3 months. Just scroll and go down, look at the withdrawals for the last 3 months. You can click more. Use 1 minute to go through. Take your time, look at the withdrawals, click on the withdrawal. You see the one that is going to mobile money, you see the one that is going to crypto. You can click that same button, right? Yeah. And go to 6 months, past 6 months. You can click that same button and go to the past 1 year. You see all my withdrawals. Now this is something I cannot expose online, right?
Yeah.
Now will you advise somebody to learn how to trade?
No, this being very impressive, I will not. I don't know your story behind this. I don't know what your risks. I don't know how you come about all of this.
Now, if you don't know what are risks, you don't know how you get to the withdrawals. What do you have to do? You have to learn. It's as easy as that. You have to learn. Okay, you came to this class today. I've made $800 within 2 minutes in front of you. What will you recommend? What will you tell somebody? What will you tell yourself?
Well, like I said before, I don't know the struggles behind Forex. I just always believe that whatever you are doing, if you feel it profitable, there's really no need to switch. Now, you have been doing Forex from the onset. If I ask you now, do you think that you will ever do something else in your life?
I'm going to do a lot of things.
Will you completely abandon Forex and do something?
Forex. Basically, I cannot abandon Forex.
Now that is why I'm saying people have things that they started from and they don't.
Okay, I get your question. I will not advise you to leave abandon what you are doing to come and learn Forex. What I recommend you do is that maybe you give it a chance. You get it?
Yeah.
You give it a chance.
Do you feel that there will be some time in this life where Forex will not be profitable, where people will no longer make?
I don't think so, because we are always going, except we get to the level where we are no longer using currencies. There will always be exchange. This Forex is very easy. It's not that we make it complicated. If you live from Cameroon now, you are going to the US. Will you go and use francs in the US? No. You must exchange. Foreign exchange market. It's just that people complicate that Forex to something else. The foreign exchange market, you are simply simultaneous buying of one currency and selling of another, right? It means if you are living from Cameroon now to go to the US, you are going to change your CFA to dollars. If you are living from the dollars back to, you are living from US back to Cameroon, you will change your dollars to CFA. That exchange.
So if let's say Cameroon and the US were using the same currency.
The same currency.
Yeah, their money value was the same. Will there be need for
if we're using the same currency, then we cannot do exchange between us. It must be two different currencies. Simultaneous buying of one currency and selling of another.
So the people in the US, what are they doing? What are they doing with? Are they buying lower currencies?
Lack of, I think you need to come classes. Lack of, no, that's just basically just because you don't understand the concept. Yeah, you don't understand the concept. But what we do in Cameroon is the same thing those who are in the US are doing. It's the same thing every trader around the world is doing, and that is one advantage when it comes to Forex. That's why I can be in Cameroon and make any amount of money.
The same profit
somebody who is in US is going to make. But now the only barrier with me in Cameroon is that maybe I don't have jobs that will give me opportunities to make money to fund my account fund. But somebody in the US will have a job opportunity that they can make maybe 1,500 at the end of the week, then they can fund their account. As long as we click the same buy, we click the same sell, nothing changes. That's the reason why even those who are in the US, they can pay me to teach them, and they'll pay very high. Because in the US, courses in the US is not our mate. They say recorded courses in the US for $1,500. But we are in Cameroon, give you a one-on-one mentorship class, physical class for $150,000. Let's think about it.
Meaning that what people are getting here for $150,000, they should know that there is more to it.
What you are getting here is what you need.
Okay, can you pay for a $1,500 course and teach the people here for $150,000?
I will do that very freely. And you know one thing that's different with me? The highest joy that I get from the teaching is basically that seeing that students become successful, right? Like I'll get up, I'll look at my WhatsApp. This person has texted me, so I made $300 today. This person has texted me, so I was able to make this amount today. That's the highest happiness. Now they say we make money from mentorship, right?
Yes.
Now,
because now I saw your seminar in Yaoundé. I did not attend, but I posted it. I saw the amount of people that were there.
Okay, you saw the amount of people that were there. How many people did you see in this class?
3 to 5 maybe.
Well, there are 2 students.
Two for now. Yeah.
There are 2 students in this class for this session. Those 2 students, they are paying 150,000 and that's 300,000. Do you know the rate of this place? Or the lights? Or the workers? If you go there, you see those
workers.
Good. How much I want to pay the people there? Before I was thinking money would do 2 at the door. You get.
So at the end of the day, you might even be spending more than.
At the end of the day, like for the reality truth that for the past 2 months, the maintenance of the academy in general with salary and everything has been coming from my personal pocket, right? But let's look at September, October last year. Well, let's just say September, October last year. There was a time I had up to 20 students in this class. Within those months last year, I had up to 20 students. Now, look at those 20 students. 150,000 now. That's making sense. Right? Now, you look at it now in the long run. Even with those 20 students that pay me 150,000, 20 students, let's say they are paying 100,000, that's 2 million. Let's say they 150,000, that's 3 million for those 20 students. Right? 3 million. Now, you look at that 3 million. How much do I have to pay all of these workers? I have 9 people on my payroll. 9. How many do I have to pay? Their salary goes up to 1 million, 1 point something million. Right?
Yeah.
Now, if I pay all that worker
and they
pay the bills. That month, I'm considering that month like a profitable month. That's why I cannot forget. Around October last year.
Yeah.
I cannot forget that. So I'm considering that month a profitable month. At the end of the day, how much do I go home with? Maybe like 500,000 profit or something. Now I'm paying tax.
Yeah.
Like when we sent tax on last week Friday, I pay tax every month, right? So now it is a business, and I'm really hoping to see that I can get as many students as possible to come and sit here and learn. You get, so that I can be able to take care of the bills around and also be able to make profit because they are paying for my time. You get? Because if not of the passion I have for trading, reality should sometimes they should also check and say, oh, I make that mistake for Open Academy. And I bet you meet other traders that Open Academy, they will tell you that the same thought goes through their mind. Because I just made $800 in 2 minutes. I will leave and go back to my house now. Right? Yeah. So it's about the passion. That's why you don't see every trader open an academy. It's not easy.
Do you have your academy run seasonal or just anybody can come and pay anything?
No, you run seasonal, like a session. Like for this session I started, right? Within the next 1 week, by Sunday, the session has closed. Even if I have 3 of them or 4 of them, I'll teach them for the whole month or for the next 6 weeks, right? After that, the next session opens. There will be 3 for the next session, there will be 30. I'll glad.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I use influencers. You get, because it is a business. Some people don't, for some reason, some people don't want to see it like a business. But whereas we go to school, we pay school fees. There are a lot of professional schools around that are paying up to 1 million. Only these professional schools pay 500,000, 1 million. They are proprietors or those who own those schools are making serious money. But nobody asks them that, why are you teaching all these things?
Yeah.
There are schools that are teaching programming. Nobody asks, why are you teaching this? Why not teach them for free? But when it comes to trading, for some reasons, people start asking, why don't you teach for free? And the people that are asking, why don't you teach for free?
Most of them are not even interested in learning.
They are not interested because they have free knowledge. I can show you screenshots of those who are making profits now that they attended my free lessons in November, and all of the recordings are on YouTube. So now, if you are saying, why don't I teach for free? I just know that this person is not a serious person. Because if you are serious, you will know that there's a free lesson on YouTube. You will not be asking.
All right, guys. FN Forex here. I want to thank him for showing up to the show, and I believe that there are some clarifications that he might have done or that he has done for people that had doubts. And thank you again for coming to the show.
Sure, bro. Anytime. If you want to interview those who are saying whatsoever, right? Let them come.
Yeah. Okay.
If you have had a bad experience with trading, come. I'll see you one-on-one on the camera. If I interview you, if you tell me that you have a bad experience on trading or you lost your entire savings, right? Come, let's see one-on-one. Let me interview you. Within the first 3 minutes or first 5 minutes, I'll tell you what you did wrong.
Nice.
Yes. So you need to learn. You trade before you succeed, and trading is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Like I said, November last year made me 5 years. So if you're coming in, come in and get ready to learn before you earn.
Don't forget to subscribe.